Varignon's theorem. This one I wrote this semester, and it's in response. First of all, I love the name Varignon, the sound of it, and it's like this is really written for my freshman statics class. So there's a few lecture slides at the beginning. So this is just a photo. So here's this. So the main riff or it goes to B. So I said Varignon's theorem, because you read this in all the statics textbooks, and I'm like, why is it called Varignon's theorem? You're just breaking it up into components. So I looked on, and I Googled something, and I got something that like makes no sense for the context, but I put it in anyway. And the next slide shows what you're really doing is you're taking a vector, R cross F, M R cross F, and you're breaking R and F into ij components to make it easy to calculate, and it's just a really, it becomes like an automatic thing that you do as a mechanical engineer, but it takes a while for some people to figure out that it's not the distance between O and the point, it's the perpendicular distance. So anyway, the next, and then this is just another view from the textbook that we were using this year, and then the next slide is from an old textbook that I learned a lot from. I always go back to this like 1950s textbook when I'm like trying to really figure out what's going on, and then the next slide I think starts this. Oh no, then this was the homework. They had just done this practice problem. And the next slide shows. So that was a quiz on paper, and then this is the solution and the quiz, and then the next slide I think we start. So. Oh, and this song has a curse in it, but I'm not going to say the curse, but you'll know what the curse is when it's supposed to be. And I don't have my lyrics written out in front of me, so we'll just do the best we can. So there's actually 5 verses. I don't really need 5 verses. I think I'm going to do a short version of this, but it's who, what, when, where, why are the 5 verses. So we'll do 2 verses, and there's a bridge, which is hard to get into, but we'll try it. So with the intro. Varignon, Varignon, Varignon. When should I use Varignon? When shouldn't I? Why not use angles that I see? Need a sine or a cosine, or go on a tangent. Surely that's easier, but maybe more, maybe more, maybe more. Who the heck is Varignon? Who can he be? He made it easier to see, gave a clue how to simplify, write the vision, make it plainer, normalize so we can see a way through the door, a way through the door, a way through the door. So it's hard to get into this, but so it comes in on the C. I'm a righty, but I have a left hand, so I sometimes teach myself to use what doesn't come naturally to me. You may be a lefty, but you have a right hand. You can learn to practice building go. Break up a force into its components, then you'll see the short distance to the line of action. Now is the moment we've been waiting for, waiting for, been waiting for. What is up with Varignon? What's the big deal? It's good to know what's in the toolbox, so faced with a new setting, step back and reweigh it. You have some options left to play, then score, to play, then score, play, then score. When should I use Varignon? When shouldn't I? Why not use angles that I see? Need a sine or a cosine? Go on a tangent. Thankfully, I can call on Varignon. 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 Stay on it. Varignon. Varignon. So most of my songs actually have double meaning. It's really not about Varignon's theorem, and although it is, but what, right? You're not supposed to explain what your songs are about, right? You're supposed to be cryptic, but that one's really about work on your weaknesses, right? If you don't do everything with your right hand, teach yourself, spend some time working, creating a balance and doing things. Don't get hung up on doing everything just one way. Sometimes there's things that it doesn't matter which way you do it. It's just as easy to do it this way as it is that way. But there's sometimes it's so much better to do it this way than it is the other way. And what tends to happen to people is they learn how to do something some way, and they just won't hold on to that. Yeah, so. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right.